Gorilla family, you're here with me, Mr. B, your gaming gorilla. Last time out we did the top 10 tips on drifting. This time it's something special. Air racers. Do you want to be more like this? And do you want to be less like this?
A bit of tougher scrapes than this. There's the ground. There's the ground. It looks hard. Okay, trees. Trees, I gotta hit one. Oh, mahogany. Ow, squirrel's nest. Fur, ow, pine, ow, on the ground. Oh, yeah.
If you do, then stay tuned, as without any further ado and all the bullshit aside, let's rock. In fact, no. Let's fly to the skies.
Don't talk about me when I'm gone. Oh, honey, though our friendship ceases from now on.
Pilot Officer Reginald Copperbottom here. Call sign Fluffy. So, you want to be a pilot, do you? Well, I've got top 10 tips for the air racing. We love air racing. And I'm gonna... That ain't working. Hey everyone, it's me, Mr. B, your gaming girl, and I'm here with my top 10 tips for air racing. Now, obviously, air racing is not to be confused with acrobatics, which is a different type of plane, a different type of discipline altogether. Now, these 10 tips that I put together are things that I've noticed which have helped me a long way. I mean, I'm the worst gamer on earth, and if I can get first or whatever, or knock a minute off the course time, then these tips must be worth it. A couple of tips, however, and the first two tips, I've got to give a massive thank you to Call Me Times 8 or Call Me X8, whichever way he likes to be called, who, after seeing my review for the Crew 2, where I complained of the sluggishness of the planes turning when compared to like the Red Bull Air Racers, he pointed out a couple of things that I never knew. The first of which comes on to my point number 1, is picking the correct plane. Now, I ignored my advice from the drifting, which was expensive doesn't mean good. It's not all about the bling. And I went straight for the most expensive one. I know, no, slap your hand, Mr. B. It's not all about the bling. The P12 is a bag of shite. Honestly, I would rather fly a couch than fly that thing. It says it does 480 miles an hour. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. I think there's an actual physical problem with the actual plane, because I went to 15,000 feet, which is the game ceiling, and nosedived down whilst boosting. I couldn't get above 200. So ignore the P12. It is. There might be people out there that love it. I'm not one of them, as you can tell. And if you are, I don't care. Good for you. But honestly, for most people, that plane's utter dog shite. A really good plane, however, is the Harmon Rocket, because my God, does that say what it does? Does that do what it says on the tin? It is a rocket, an absolute rocket. Now, what he also told me, which I didn't realise, which leads me on to point 2, is how to actually tune your plane. So you've got the Rocket, which is a fantastic plane in the first place, but you can actually tune it as well, just like you can your cars. And really turn it into a plane that will... It acts like a mosquito in fact, no, it acts like an ADHD mosquito who's just snorted Red Bull and vodka. It moves that quickly. Now, the way you go into tune your plane is actually pretty simple. I feel a bit dumb that I didn't know this before, but hey, I am dumb, it is what it is. You press your options button. You go to your vehicles, you select your plane, and you press performance, just like you would if you were changing a part out. Once you're in the performance screen, all you have to do is press your big button in the middle, the touchy thing. Well, the pad you can touch. The hell do you call... Hang on. What do you call the big touchpad? So you touch your touchpad in the middle, and it brings up the tuning. Now, what I do is I turn it all up to 11. I literally, dial it up to 11 or whatever you call it, and I max out everything. if you're going to do that, and if you're as stupid I am, practice with the plane first, because my God, will it turn you inside out. Just like that scene from, what was it? With Aerosmith, Armageddon, where that flight commander's going, we're going to turn you, we're going to make you puke. Yeah, honestly, it does. It will do, especially if you have it in first person mode. And if you drinks last night and played it, I felt queasy as shite afterwards. But anyway, that's your first 2 points right off the bat. If you follow them, I guarantee you're going to get better scores already. But then we move on to the next tips, because there's another 8 tips yet. And these 8 tips are really going to keep you, are really going to improve what you do. Now this next tip's a cracker. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Sit down, because this is special. Tip number 3. Know the bloody course. There is nothing worse in Red Bull Air Racing than ad hocing your way around the course. Do you think that an F1 racer gets up in the morning, goes to Silverstone for the first time, says, screw it lads, just give me the car? It don't work like that. They walk around the course. They know the course inside and out. They could actually drive that course with their eyes closed. Lewis Hamilton could anyway. And it same goes for the Red Bull Air Races. Now, many moons ago, I used to do security for Red Bull Air Race, for a company called Rocksteady, and I actually got to speak to a couple of pilots. They could literally fly that course with their eyes closed. They're outstanding. They know exactly when to. They've got things counted out in the head and all that sort of stuff. They know when to turn and when to do the manoeuvres. And if you've never been to a Red Bull Air Race, go to one. It's awesome. So you've got to do the same thing in the game. You've got to know the course, because only then will you start getting world record times. And if you've already tuned your Harman rocket, you can do it. I promise you can. But you also have to know one other thing, which leads me on to point 4, which is knowing the bloody rules. You'd be surprised how many people don't understand the rules of air racing. It is what it is, but I'm going to school you. If you don't know the rules, I'm going to quickly recap on it. If you do, I'm sorry, this is going to take 30 seconds. Bear with me. So, the course has cones on it. Big inflatable ice cream cones. They're orange with a blue top. That blue top, that blue section, is where your plane is the height your plane needs to be from the ground. Next to that blue section, you've got a plane logo that's at a certain orientation. Your wings, your plane needs to hit that logo at that orientation. That's simple. And you go from one to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. It's that simple. That's the rules. Now what will happen is when you hit that gate, one of 3 things you're going to do. You're either going to hit it perfectly, and you're going to get a second off your time. You'll know this because it says perfect, and you get a second off your time. You're either going to be slightly out, it's just going to pat you on the head and say nice try, or you're going to be completely out, it's going to swear at you, tell you shouldn't even be flying, and it's going to take a second onto your time. Or add a second onto your time. That's what's going to happen. That's the rules. It's simple. It couldn't be easier. But now you know the rules, what's there left for you to do? You know the course, you know the rules, you've got your Harman rocket, you've got your tuned it, you sorted right? Not quite. Now before I get into the next tip, I just want to ask you, really quickly, just to go into the comment section and answer the question I've got there. Just a reminder that I put a comment I put a question in the comments. After you finish this video, just go down and answer it. I'd love to hear from you. So anyway, put that to one side. Just remember, answer me question. So, moving on to my next tip. Once you know the rules, and you know the orientation that you need to hit the gates with, this is a really important one. A mega important one. I'm not joking this time, this is actually an important one. Take each gate as they come. Do not focus on the one after the one you're hitting, because this will happen. You'll fly into your gate, you're looking where your next one is, you've already set your plane at its orientation, and you'll start to move the orientation ready to break out from that gate to go to the next one, and you'll not get the perfect. Do not change the orientation of your plane until you've gone past that gate, until you've actually seen the second come off your time, or in my case, second added to your time, and then you can move on to the next one. Hit each gate like there is only one gate there. Don't concentrate on the next one. If you do that, your times will seriously improve, and you won't miss any seconds off. You'll get more points and things like that. Jobs are good. Another cracking tip is, and this is my 7th tip, so we're nearly at the end. Calm down, stop getting itchy fingers. Get off that mouse button, stop away from your phone. We're not finished yet. I tell you, I'm going to chain you lot down. My videos are not that bad. So, 7th tip. Actually, no, it's not the 7th tip, is it? Is it? No, it's the 6th tip. 6th. See what you do to me? 6th tip. You're going to see these things which I call up and overs. They're like blue arrows that are pointing up. It's wanting you to go vertical and do a half roll, a half barrel, half loop. We'll get the right term. It's wanting to do a half loop. And basically what that means is you're going to go vertically up, come back 180 degrees to go the other direction. You're going to roll out of it into the other direction. Boost vertical. Obviously when you go vertical, you're going to lose speed, which is going to slow you down. Boost it. Now, if that boost then stops you slowing down, stops you losing time, jobs are good. Which leads me on to my next tip. If you boost and you screw up like I do quite often, if you crash, it's easy just to start the race again. It really is. It's a 3-minute race. It's not the end of the world. It's not like a big endurance race. Just restart it. Honestly, you'll save yourself tons of time. Now, my 8th tip is something that I've found personally. It might not affect you much, but it affects me significantly. Ignore that stupid asshole of a ghost. It puts you off, or it puts me off like you wouldn't believe. And it's an annoying. If you can hear whopping, by the way, that's me dog asleep. when I come back onto the screen, I'll show you Poppy, because she's Poppy whopping right now. Hey, wake up. I'm recording, girl. So, basically, ignore the ghost. You want to set your own path, a better path than what that ghost made, to ignore the ghost, because it'll just distract you. The 9th tip is a really important one. It's things that I didn't realise until today, of all things. If you press options and go along to pilot, you can actually add what are called icon points. Now, you can actually reset your icon points by holding square, and if you tune your pilot before the race starts to putting everything into your flying skills, you're going to do a lot better in the races, and it might just give you that edge in the harder races. So tune your pilot before you start. That's a cracking tip. But the best tip of all, the pied de résistance, the ultimate tip of all, is practice. Just like in every tutorial. Practice, 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 practice. Buy the Harman rocket, tune your plane, know the course, know the rules, set your pilot up, ignore the ghost, and practice, 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 practice. I guarantee if you do that, you'll be beating world records in no time. And I guarantee if you do the rest of it, you'll definitely be beating world records in no time. So, there's my top 10 tips. And I'm going to pass you back to the big boy himself, your gaming gorilla, Mr. B. Back to you, buddy. I know. No. I'm trying to see out them eyes. Do you mind? Well, welcome back. And that was my top 10 tips for air racing in the Crew 2. I hope you enjoyed them. If you do put them into practice, I guarantee it will help you. Have you played the Crew 2 yet? What do you think about racing? I suppose I better introduce you. This is Poppy, by the way. This is Princess Potwop. She's Daddy's princess. This is a little lady who was whopping in my recording because, well, she can't be more than 5 feet away from me at any point, and, well, she likes a good sleep all day long. So look, I'm going to put you down now. You've said hello to everyone. You happy? Happy? Good. Go on. So, basically, if you've played the Crew 2 and you've got any tips that I haven't mentioned, please put in the comment section below. And if you've liked or disliked this video, interact with it. It's my way of knowing if you enjoy my content or I'd love for you to either like or if I can get 10 likes to this video, I'll be over the moon, and I swear to God I will do something special for you guys. What that might be, I don't have a clue yet, but we'll work on something. If you haven't noticed or haven't heard yet, I have a bit of a giveaway going. And I'm giving away a copy of Battlefield 5. Now, yes, it's a pre-order. No, I can't give it you now. I know someone said on Facebook that, how can you give something away that hasn't been released yet? The pre-order. I'm going to give one free copy of Battlefield 5 to a subscriber. And yes, we'll address the elephant in the room. It is buying subscriptions. It's marketing, it's business. It is what it is. It doesn't affect you in any way, shape or form. In fact, you can benefit from it. You can get a free game. Possibly the game of the year. Battlefield 5, which is looking amazing. And if you want to know more about that, click here. If you are kind enough to help my channel grow, click here and subscribe. That's all from me, Mr. B. Ta-ta for now.